Hey guys, welcome. I'm Parshmika. Welcome to my channel where we talk a lot about female energy, feminine energy topics, self productivity topics. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some proven ways to improve your relationships. Now, I am not a relationship expert, or I'm not that like perfect in this, but I'm gonna share some of my tips that helped me to improve my relationships that I did recently, or I've been doing it from past few months. Now, this thing can be applied to the relationship with your boyfriend, your spouse, your family members, your friends. Some are more general tips, some are very specific, catering to the romantic relationships, but you can apply overall to whatever kind of relationship you're working on, whether you're with your friends, your family members, your parents, or whatever it is. Let's dive in. Give this video a big thumbs up, consider subscribing for more such videos. We have a female self-care planner if you're interested in taking care of yourself as a female. It's a PDF download. The link is in description box below. You could very well grab the nail art supplies if you love nail art like me. It's almost going. If you like the nail art like me, then we have our store where we are currently selling the nail art pen. You could very well actually grab one. The link is in description box below. You can check, all the links are in description box below. Anyways, let's talk about some proven ways. I'm gonna be sharing my own tips. Keep in mind that I'm not an expert, or I'm not perfect at that. I'm just learning. I'm just a beginner. That's what I can say. I do still make mistakes, and I learn from them. I grow from them, and I try to know what's happening behind the scene, so I can get the clear picture of where I am and where should I be going. Okay, so I'm gonna be sharing based on my experience. Hopefully, it will going to help you, and please take this advice with a grain of salt. Let's dive in. The first tip I have for you, which is so important, is to always ask in relationship. Whether you want to ask a question, whether you want to ask for help, whether you want to ask for something, advice, suggestion, whatever it is. If you have something in your mind regarding your relationship, whether you have with your romantic partner, with your family members, whatever it is, or if you have a general thing that you think that you've been doing it from quite a long time but you haven't found an answer, and you think that your partner or your other person can have the answer for that, and you want to ask, instead of overthinking about it, thinking that whether they're going to be able to help me or not, they know the answer or not, or they really want to help me or not, and am I doing too much, or is it not good, and all that blah blah reason, it's best to ask. It's always best to ask, and I can tell you practically from my own experience, when I ask my boyfriend or when I ask my parents, things get simple instead of actually thinking about it. I get either the right yes answer for that or no answer, but straightforward, clear, no problem, no difficulty. In fact, it increases our communication. It helps us getting more close, more direct, more open, more honest, and improves the relationship ultimately. And I tell you guys, most of the times they say yes. Some of the times when they say no, they had a proper reason why they are saying no, and that reason is legit, so I respect that. So that's the first thing. The second tip I have for you is, don't bash out or don't talk when you are in angry mood, or you are frustrated, or you're depressed. When you are feeling low in your mood, in your energy, you are angry, you're frustrated, I would highly recommend you to don't talk. I mean, go take a break. I recommend you to do some meditation, go to nature walk, listen to some music, watch some movie, or take a nap. Whatever feels good to you, do that instead of actually talking with that person, because you may end up with an argument. Or if you had an argument with that person and you're angry with them, I would recommend you to spend some time alone or do something that makes you happy, instead of actually putting the bash on them and pointing the finger at each out and making the things worse. Because when you are on the high verge of those emotions, your mind won't work well. You would be driven by these emotions, and you won't be able to have a good communication or a good conversation, which is crucial. So it's better to take a break, and taking a break doesn't make you need to go on a vacation or something. If that's the thing, then that's a different story, but you could actually take a nap. I do that. I take a nap or watch some movie or go out and eat something. whatever it is that actually puts you out of that negative emotions and put you in the neutral zone. Even if you're trying to feel good and you don't feel good, it's hard to feel the good when you are on the top of the negative emotions very high. It's hard to feel the positive emotions ultimately within seconds or within a minute. So I would recommend you to do something like that that makes you feel in a neutral zone. A neutral zone where you don't have those high negative emotions, but still you don't have the positive one. But it's so easy for you to actually move into the direction of the positive when you are in the neutral, and it makes a lot of the sense. And then you clear your mind and you get the things into the picture, and then you decide what you have to do, what you have to talk about. So that's the second most important thing. The people, I've seen the couple bashing out at each other when they are in the angry mood, they are frustrated, they are tired. Please don't do that. Take a break, okay? Don't bash out on them. It will going to affect your relationship negatively. And even though you are negatively affected that person, it's best to actually talk with them when you are at your ease, when you are relaxed, calm, peaceful, neutral zone. It's the best to talk rather than talking with them when you are high on your negative emotions. Trust me, even if you're angry with them, please do this. I do this with my parents most of the times. Even when I'm frustrated or even when I'm angry, I don't bash out on them. I respect them. Even though our opinions doesn't match, they think something different and I think something different. We even respect each other and love each other, but oftentimes they try to push me into a direction which I don't want to go, which resulted in me in frustration and anger. And instead of bashing out at them, I just take a break. And best thing, I don't call them, I don't attend their calls, I don't send them a message. It's not like I'm ignoring them or something. It's just that I need a break so that I can take my mind off the subject to be in the relaxed and neutral zone, and then I can get back to talking with them again. And that leads to a better conversation instead of actually bashing out when I'm actually in the negative emotions. That's the second thing you could do. The third thing I would highly recommend you is to actually give in the relationship instead of always taking from the relationship. Now, if you're doing it, that's amazing, but if you're not doing it, there are some things that I want to tell you with this thing. You want to do those things to your partner or to your parents, to your family members, whatever relationship you have. Give them with full love, give them with full respect, and enjoy the giving. Because I, honestly speaking, I realize when I give something to someone, I feel so happy instead of actually getting things from them. It may be different for you, but giving them is the best thing. You first have to give only to receive. If you're thinking about giving them only to get something from them, then probably don't do that. Give something to someone from the place of love, from the place of satisfaction, happiness, and peace of joy, instead of getting something back from the return. It makes a lot of the sense when you compare these two situations. You're gonna feel it, okay? Another thing I want to cover over here, if you're already giving in a relationship, don't give too much, okay? Only give things in the relationship which you aren't affected by, okay? If you are going and buying some fruit cakes for you and your partner like it, then maybe buy a fruit cake for them as well. But always keep your cup full before filling other people's cup. Remember this thing. I used to do the big mistake. I used to keep filling the other people's cup instead of actually filling my cup first. Because if you're not doing something for you and you're doing all the things for other person, then you're gonna end up frustrated by that, because you're like, I'm doing so many things for you, you're not doing it for me, and that's not gonna lead you into the good shape. So first, keep your cup filled. Do what you want to do for you, okay? Whatever it is, it could be anything. It could be buying something for you, a gift or a food or a dish, whatever it is. Do something for you first, and then also do that thing, and then also do the thing or give something to your person or to your family member or to the person that you had the relationship with. So keep your cup full as well and their cup full as well. Don't keep your cup half and trying to fill their cup. It never work, okay? You end up frustrating, getting angry, depressed, and it won't work. Another thing, only give that much that you are ready to lose. I've seen the people giving too much. They give too much and then they get tired, frustrated, irritated, and they're like, I give too much to that person. That person didn't give me back. But I was like, you give too much. You have to give it to that person, but you don't have to overdo the things. Overdoing the things doesn't gonna help you, and underdoing the things doesn't gonna help you. It should be the balance. Always there is a balance, and balance depends from person to person, from relationship to relationship. So you need to figure out your own balance. You can do it with experimenting, maybe trying something different things and see how it makes you feel, how it goes, and then progressing further with that. So don't overdo that, but give them what you're ready to lose, and also keeps your cup filled so that you are satisfied, and then you give from the place of satisfaction, which is amazing. Okay, and when you don't expect anything from the person, or you're giving from the place of satisfaction, you get so much in return that you didn't even imagine it. Other tip I have for you is to always communicate honestly, whether it's a serious conversation, whether it's a good conversation, light conversation, whatever it is, just be open and honest. Okay, don't hide the details. Don't try to put the sweets in the, or make the thing sugary so that they can digest it. Don't think in that way, just say it the way it is, because oftentimes when we try to sugarcoat the things and give them the sugar coated things, it doesn't work, it just backfires. So you really need to be open and honest and have a good conversation with them, especially when both the parties are at the same page, or are at the neutral, relaxed, calm, and peaceful. Then the best conversation happens. You can take your time and always check the tone of your voice. Even if you're trying to say something that is offensive, check your tone of voice, because that can actually turn the person into a positive situation or into a negative situation. So check on your tone of your voice while communicating. It shouldn't be too high, it shouldn't be too low, it gonna be medium, but you're not pointing fingers of them, you're just sharing what you feel like, and that's how the communication begins. Another tip I have for you is to don't force your things, your beliefs on other person, and don't allow their beliefs, their things to force on you. This is so important, not just in romantic relationship, but also in the relationship with your parents. I had this issue because when I have a relationship with my parents, they have their own opinions, and I respect them and I love them, but I don't want them to force me to do those things unless I believe in them. And some of the things I totally don't believe in them. I don't understand them. I don't believe them, whatever it is. And I don't want to do it. So I told them, don't force me to do those things, simply. And also, I don't force my things, my opinion, my beliefs on others, because I know that creates friction. When we are trying to change someone, when we are trying to tell them, you did good, but if you could do this thing in this way, it could be amazing. That means you're making some edits, some changes to that person based on what you think that makes you happy, okay? And that's coming from the place of lack, scarcity, and that's not gonna help you. So don't force your things on the others, and also don't allow their things to be forced on you. Create a balance, create boundaries. Okay, I respect you, I love you, you do whatever you want to do, whatever you feel right for you, I'm gonna do it for me. Okay, and when we are together, we are gonna be having an amazing fun together, but when we are not together, we're gonna do whatever we want to do. We're not gonna force each other's things on us. If we like to do it, we're gonna do it. If not, then we won't. That's kind of like thing, it's really important. And I think this is the thing that's really important in the relationship that you have with the parents. And oftentimes the parents try to force you, try to push you, because they think that they have more experience. And I totally get it, they have more experience, but they don't know what it is right for you, because you have your own inner being, you have your own intuition, your own heart voice, and that is calling you in some different direction, and they are telling you to go in different direction, and that create a chaos, that creates a middle ground for you, and you're confused, and that ultimately affects your relationship, because you're going to be frustrated, angry, and confused. And I want to tell you, in this situation, follow your heart instead of following that person advice. Okay, even if they are not impressed with that, but in the long run they're gonna be happy if they really love you. Okay, The last tip that I want to share, and obviously there could be a lot of the tips to actually improve your relationship, but these all, I've been doing it from few days or weeks or months, and they really help me, and I'm still growing and adapting. Another tip I have for you is to do the follow-up sessions with the things. Now you can do a follow-up session with your partner, with yourself, with your with some issues, some things, or some situations. It can be anything. Okay, let me give you an example. So I'll just gonna take a basic example over here because that's what is coming in my mind, but you can elaborate and put it into any other example. For example, you clean the dishes in a certain way and your partner clean the dishes in a certain way. So you're like, my way is right, and he's like, my way is right. And then it's a small thing, but oftentimes the fights and arguments get triggered by the small things because we are frustrated and tired from other things, and we find the small things and then we fight with those things. So you're like, okay, my thing is right, and he's like, my way is right. You started fighting, you started arguing. That happened in the beginning of the relationship. Somehow that fight ended because you were both tired or whatever it is. And after a few months, you grow up a lot, you adapted a lot, you learned a lot, and now you can do a follow-up session with that particular issue, that particular thing of cleaning the dishes, and see how far you have come. You can do it either alone by yourself or with your partner, just talking about the same issue, and see, do you have a different opinion or you're agreeing on the same topics. And oftentimes when you do that, if you have grown in that phase, if you have learned so much in that phase, then when you're talking after a couple of days or weeks or months, oftentimes the issue that was creating the trouble isn't an issue at all, because you both have grown up, you both have changed, and the things that was bothering in the first place is not even bothering at all, because your opinion has changed, your mindset has changed, because you have grown and you're adapted a lot. That's the one example you could do. Now you could apply it to various different situations. I've done this thing quite a lot, many times, with my partner. Like in the beginning, we used to have the different issues about some different things, and I was like, no, my way is right, and he's like, my way is right. And of course we didn't fight, but then we reached to the point where we were like, oh, we are not good for each other, because we have a different opinions, and we can't come to different opinions, we don't have so many things in common, so it's not a good match and all that stuff. But now when we look back to the same issues, and I look back personally for me, okay, when I look back to those issues after 2 or 3 months, I see that those issues aren't really matter to me at all. I've changed, I've grown a lot. And when I talk about these things with him, like a follow-up session first with me and then with him, I see that those issues doesn't really matter at all. When you do those things, you realize you've grown so much, not just alone, but with your partner or with your person in the relationship. You can do this thing same with your parents. You can talk about, okay, 10 years we were having this thing, after 10 years we had this thing. So obviously there are going to be the different issues that are going to be rising up with the time, but your opinion, your thinking, and their opinion, their thinking will naturally going to change with time. Okay, even if you're not growing that much, you're not learning that much, still it's gonna change with time. Okay, and the things that were bothering first in the were bothering before was not bothering at all right now, because you both have changed. So you can do a follow-up session. You can see, okay, we have come to a conclusion on this particular topic, we are on the same page, and that's amazing. We have grown together, we have grown a lot, we are a perfect match, it improves our relationship. We can use the same thing in the future with the other things. If we come up with the same issue of not on the same page, we can do the same thing. So hopefully these tips will going to help you improve your relationship, whether with your partner, with your friends, with your family members, with your parents, whomsoever you are having an important relationship with. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you want more videos like this? Your questions, your comments are really welcome. If you want me to make a video on one specific topic, do let me know. That's it for this video. I'll see you the next time. Till then, take care. Bye guys.